What do you think about Canada becoming a member state of the European Union? I'll share my thoughts at the end of this video, but first I want you to watch this news piece from DW, a German broadcasting service. They are discussing how Trump's policies are increasingly pushing Canada towards closer ties with our friends across the Atlantic. If that were to happen, if Canada actually joined the European Union, what will it mean for our relationship with the United States? That's an important question to consider. But before we dive into that, listen to this conversation and we will discuss it on the other side of this piece.
Recently, when U.S. President Donald Trump imposed and then suspended tariffs on all Canadian products, it got many there thinking, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Well, Canada's leaders are apparently rethinking their ties to the United States. They're turning to another partner, also targeted by Trump's tariffs, an ally on the other side of the Atlantic, the European Union. Canada's largest daily newspaper, the Toronto Star, has posed a question that not too long ago would have seemed fanciful. It ran with the headline, "Donald Trump drives a wedge between Canada and the U.S. with a trade war. Could we join the EU?" And it's not only the Toronto Star. The Economist has been pondering why Canada should join the EU. Europe needs space and resources. Canada needs people. Let's deal. Well, leading voices in the European Union have also been getting behind it. European Parliament member Guy Verhofstadt posting on X, "We in Europe remember that Canadians died to liberate our continent. In the face of Trump's madness, the EU stands with Canada now. There is no reason why EU membership should be off the table." Well, now I'd like to play a clip for you where the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, speaks about standing up for Ukraine and the rules-based global order. But I'd like for you to pay particular attention to when he finishes making his statement and what he's asked by a reporter. Take a look.
Standing up for Ukraine is also standing up for the international rules-based order that protects us all and has led to extraordinary prosperity these past 8 decades. This is a moment for all of us to continue to stand together, and as friends and partners, that's exactly what we will always do. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci.
We discuss tariffs.
We're going to discuss all sorts of things.
Would Canada be better as the 28th EU member state or the US first?
All right, the voice that you heard there at the very end, that was our correspondent Jack Perrick. He joins me from Brussels, and Canadian political commentator Sean Mallon is also with us from Toronto. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Jack, let me start with you. Since you asked him about joining the EU, is it possible for Canada to become the 28th member of the European Union? And is that what Europe wants?
So it's not impossible, has been the response that I've had from EU officials after asking that question. It might have seemed a little bit sort of glib that I asked him whether it would be better for Canada to be the 28th EU member or the 51st state of the United States. But it really belies a pretty important discussion, which is where does Canada see itself in its place in the world related to the United States and related to the European Union. It was very clear from Trudeau's arrival here in Brussels that they feel very warmly towards the EU. Now, the officials that I've spoken to since say that basically it wouldn't be completely impossible for Canada to decide to submit an application to be an EU member state. That while EU member states have to be, it says in the text, a European country, that there is actually no definition of what a European country is in that context, so therefore it wouldn't be completely impossible.
Right, you heard it. Now, no one is suggesting that this is going to happen overnight, but an idea is being planted. If the United States continue to behave like the old Soviet Union, should we start looking for better allies? Personally, I would love to have an EU passport, just as I know that many Europeans would love to have a Canadian passport. From my perspective, this could be a win-win situation for both Canada and the EU. But what do you think? Should Canada seriously consider joining the European Union, or should we wait and see what happens under another Trump administration? What are the potential downsides of EU membership for us? Could Canada handle the influx of immigrants from across Europe, or would that actually be a necessary step for us to grow our population and eventually match the size of the US? Who knows? Perhaps one day we could become a major world power. After all, we have the landmass and we have the resources. So let's go, Canada. Let's make this happen. If you think Canada should join the EU, share your thoughts in the comment section. And to our friends in the European Union, how would you feel about having a Canadian passport? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.